While some cases seem entertaining for popaholics, it's not the same for patients who find their procedures painful and try to fight Dr. Lee about them. Welcome to Film Time, the greatest hour to know everything about your favorite television shows, behind-the-scenes drama, and what's getting canceled or renewed. If you like this video, we would greatly appreciate it if you click the like button. You can also subscribe to our channel if you're a fan of content just like this. Patients come and go on Dr. Pimple Popper, but some patients will forever be remembered for their colorful bedside manners. Dr. Pimple Popper is a professional, but she sometimes encounters patients that are bound to test her limit. So, here are 8 patients that tried to fight Dr. Lee on Dr. Pimple Popper. Number 1. The Mute Old Man. Okay, this particular patient wasn't entirely mute, but he could have been one by his refusal to talk to Dr. Lee, as she extracts his blackheads. Dr. Lee is known for her witty chats and bedside manners, but this patient is obviously not a fan of Dr. Lee or her manners in any way. He had been forced by his spouse to see Dr. Lee, and it doesn't seem like he loves the idea.
I grow much longer, we grow a lot bigger. I've had one the size of a big...
Number 2. Inflamed cyst patient. If there's one thing Dr. Lee hates most, is a patient that does her job for her. In other words, patients that squeeze their cysts before coming to see her. This particular patient sought Dr. Lee's help to remove a cyst that Dr. Lee discovered is already inflamed. The patient without remorse told Dr. Lee a coworker had squeezed out the cyst just before his appointment with Dr. Lee. Judging by the tense look both Dr. Lee and the patient shared, Dr. Lee does not appreciate the effort. We hope her patient takes heed to instructions this time around.
Make sure again I'm not hurting you. This one might be a little harder for us to remove.
Number 3. The patient that teaches. A doctor teaching a fireman how to do their job is never going to go down well, which is how Dr. Lee must have felt when a young man came to see her with a cyst and some lessons about how to remove the cyst. A gesture that famed dermatologist does not appreciate. The patient even brought a mirror to watch Dr. Lee do her work, which was quite annoying. Despite all the patient's antics, Dr. Lee remained professional, as it was clear the patient had an ulterior motive for featuring in Dr. Pimple Popper.
How you doing? Can you see this one? Push this way. I'm going to push against you, okay? Just because it's hard.
Number 4. Yamileth's lipoma. Right from the bat, it was hard to root for Yamileth, despite the big bump on her back. So it's not surprising Dr. Lee wasn't a fan of the patient and almost lost her patient with her when she despairingly described a boy she once dated. We are sure the boy wouldn't want to hear all she said, but judging by Dr. Lee's look, neither does she. Yamileth is easily one of the most annoying patients that have ever been featured on the show.
Chives!
Number 5. Unicorn cysts. Despite her professional attitude, patients have had made attempts to remove their cysts usually grate on Dr. Lee's nerve, and this case is no exception. What started as a small bump became a big one when this patient did Dr. Lee's job for her. The cyst came back in a vengeance, leaving Dr. Lee to carry out the pieces, literally and figuratively. Dr. Lee didn't fail to scold her patient for their carelessness though.
Squeeze, okay? Nothing should hurt.
Number 6. The flinching patient. For a moment, we thought this patient and Dr. Lee were eventually going to fight each other, as the procedure Dr. Lee was using on the patient was extremely painful for the patient, that they constantly flinched. The patient had bumps on their neck, ears, arms, and back. While the patient was eager to get their bumps removed, they are obviously not a fan of the painful procedure.
Dilated port whiner, because it's a big blackhead. I do believe you didn't even know it was here.
Number 7. The 30-year-old blackhead. Dr. Lee was reluctant to perform this particular extraction, but the patient was adamant about its removal. We can't blame the patient for wanting to live a better life, but we also can't blame Dr. Lee for being reluctant, as she believes the 30-year-old blackhead may come back. Although, after much prodding and the patient's insistence, Dr. Lee eventually extracted the blackhead. Number 8. Jenner's rhinophema. He did not fight Dr. Lee, but we are sure the painful procedure was unbearable enough for him to want to consider it. Jenner's rosacea is of the extreme one, which means the surgical process was very slow, bloody, and borderline brutal. Jenner could have died, which would have been a source of a problem for Dr. Pimple Popper. Jenner almost lashed out at Dr. Lee, but kept his cool and endured the process.
Put numbing over there too, though. It closed it up even more. So But I took that edge down.
Well, there you have it, guys. 8 patients that try to fight Dr. Lee on Dr. Pimple Popper. Did you enjoy the video? Which of these patients did you find surprising? Let us know your opinion in the comment section below. We hope you enjoyed the video as much as we did, and if you did enjoy it, don't hesitate to click the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. You can turn on the notification bell to get notifications on our future posts. We hope to see you soon. Adios.